What's up, everybody? Thank you all for coming back. Today we're doing a 2-month review. I've got about 15 hours on this bad boy, the 2019 YZ450FX. I'm gonna go over a couple of things that I really liked, a couple of things that I've had go wrong, a couple of things that I haven't liked so much about the bike. But stick around and we'll kind of go through a list of how it's been for me and even a couple other things about why I decided to buy this bike, other bikes that I was looking at, and why we ended up back on Blue Crew. Stick around. Got my cheat sheet to look at here. But first and foremost, we'll go through some of the things that I've liked most about the bike. Number one is absolutely the suspension. The KYB Triple S forks are a little bit updated for 2019. Just the KYB traditional stuff works super well. I've ridden this bike all over the place. You guys have seen that. A lot of high-speed desert stuff. Slow, technical desert stuff, some hill climbs. A lot of motocross. And this bike's been absolutely awesome for all of that. Since I've had it, the bushings have broken in a little bit. Ended up going about 2 clicks stiffer on the forks on the compression, 3 clicks stiffer on the slow speed, on the low speed on the rear, just to keep from G'ing out and going all the way to the bottom on some of those harder hits. So that's the first thing, is suspension. It's been absolutely awesome for all of that. There's a lot of comfort in the slow stuff. In the fast stuff, it works really good. I'm not blowing through the stroke. Again, I'm about the middle of the pack expert level racer. That's where I'm going to be racing this year. Expert desert racer. Going to be doing some motocross and some of that stuff as time goes on. But that's where my main pride and joy is in the desert. So it's been awesome for that. Again, it takes the big hits, takes the small hits. It's super comfortable. And then kind of going back and comparing to the bike that I was on before. If you guys didn't know, I was on a 2017 KTM 350 XCF. That's the bike that I spent a lot of time on my last 2 race seasons. I was riding that for all the same types of terrain. And this bike, the suspension blows that bike out of the water. That KTM, I had the AER forks on it. They were pretty good. They had a lot of stiction in the very initial part of the stroke, so I could never get rid of that. Took it to Division Suspension and had them try to fix it for me as well, and they could never get it to where I was completely happy with the forks. And that's why, one of the big reasons why I decided to go Yamaha is because their suspension is known to be a lot better. Plus they're super reliable. So again, first thing is suspension is super, super awesome. So on to number 2, just the 450 in general. The reason why I picked a 450 instead of doing another 350 or even a 250 like I've had in the past. It's really the main reason I wanted to do a 450 is because this last year we've been riding a lot of motocross. I wanted some more torque to get me right out of the corners, to get me over some of the jumps that we were hitting. So the 450, it's awesome, love it. It makes power all the way from the bottom all the way to the rev limiter. As you guys can probably know by now, I'm a revver. I like to rev the bike all the way to the rev limiter. But it makes power all the way up to that point, so it's super good. We'll talk about some of the mapping here in a little bit as well. Yeah, actually, number 3 is the mapping with the GYTR Power Tuner, the power tuning app. We just have the app on the smartphone now, the iPhone behind the lens that's recording everything right now. Does a super good job, so we just have to hit the button on the starter switch, wake it up. That's all you gotta do, and then we can log into the app on our phone. We can change the mapping. I've played with the mapping a little bit. I was running the Travis Preston 2.0 map for a while. There was a lot of good reviews on that map, and it was a lot better than the stock map was. Just until this weekend, that's what I was using. This weekend I actually changed and went to the MX Power Feeling map that is built into the bike. So yeah, super good. Mapping is number 3. You can tune the bike however you want. There's parameters in there that you can't blow it up. Was going to play with some more of the mild maps for some more single track stuff this weekend. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get to that. I'll explain why I wasn't able to change the mapping this weekend when we get on to some of the things that I haven't liked about the bike. But really, that's the three biggest reasons why I like this 450, why I like this bike right now. Those are my three main things is number one, the suspension, the 450 torque, the 450 power. Again, it's super good for the high-speed desert stuff. A lot of the motocross stuff that I've been riding takes a little bit of a slack on some of the lower speed stuff or slower speed stuff, but I'm totally okay with that. Most of my races for faster speed and riding the motocross track for fun. And then lastly was the mapping, where we can manipulate the motor however we want it to do. A lot of cool things about that. So those are the pros list. We'll jump into the cons and some of the things that just minute changes to the bike that I made to make the bike fit how I like to ride. So we'll go over some of those upgrades that I've done. Yeah, to go into the issues, like I was talking about not being able to map the bike this last weekend, I pulled this side cover off. I'll actually pull it off for you right now in just a second, but pulled the side cover off because I couldn't get my phone to connect to the Wi-Fi signal, wasn't finding the Wi-Fi signal, so I finally pulled the box off so I could see where the box is to see what was going on. Turns out that the wiring for the connector of the Wi-Fi box completely busted, so I'll open that up, show you what happened to there. Kind of been a little bit of a nuisance. Luckily that piece is just a $20 part that we can order from OEM Parts. It's just 4 wires that have a connector on each end so that we can change that out. So I'll open that up and show you what happened. I think I know what happened. Not sure if it's gonna happen again. Hopefully it does not, but we'll open that up real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. So the Wi-Fi box is just right inside here, behind this fender, behind this number plate, excuse me. So pull that off. Just these 3 bolts here. I can show you what went wrong. So if we look in here, guys, let me steal this phone. So they've got this little rubber holder that holds it in place, and then there's a slot in the plastic that holds it there, but must not have been in there very secure. So the rubber, it came off the little mount, and then it was bouncing around inside in here. So there's a little wire. Let me see if you can see it. Yeah, you can see that white wire in there is disconnected. It's broken off from where it's supposed to go. So luckily it's, like I said, it's just the wire. So from this connector to this connector is just one little piece, just 20 bucks. So we'll get that fixed, but it has been a little bit of an issue that's been annoying. So I'll throw this back on. We can go through the rest of the cons list and what else I wanted to change. Yeah guys, so that was the number one con that we've had, was having the Wi-Fi box, the wiring to break. Luckily it's gonna be a relatively easy fix, but it has been annoying. Number 2 on the cons list was that just another issue again with the skid plate. You guys saw in my last video, I've got a crack all the way through the bottom of the stock skid plate. Plate I was talking about, so it's cracked all the way through. Not good. Didn't really expect it to last that long. It's pretty thin plastic. So didn't really expect it to last that long, but hoped that it would last longer than it did. Again, had about 12 hours on this bike when the skid plate first cracked. Didn't run it until it completely falls off. Hopefully it doesn't do that anytime soon. But yeah, another con was just having the cheap skid plate. Again, at least it did come with a skid plate. That was nice from Yamaha. But we are going to have to replace that anyway, only 15 hours in. Number 3, just nitpicking again, this bike is really good. I do love it. The third thing though is that it starts a little bit slow. So it's just doesn't quite start as fast and as consistent as my 350 KTM did. Obviously KTM's been doing starting a lot longer than Yamaha has, electric starting. So it does take sometimes a little bit long to crank. Hopefully come desert racing season that I'm okay to get some good starts with the bike. Hopefully the pack doesn't take off and just have it not start. But it is a little bit slow to start. It likes to have a little bit of throttle. You know, I'll interlace some clips of sometimes that it took a little bit longer to start. But just nitpicking again, not too big of a deal. It does start every time. I haven't killed the battery or anything like that, but it is a little bit slow to start. And then that's pretty much the end of the cons list. The rest is just going into my personal preferences and some of the things that I've changed that I didn't like before. So there's a couple things, you guys have seen the video on it and I kind of explained it then. But The first one was just where my foot position was. This shifter the stock shifter, was super close to my foot. Kept hitting it on accident and it wasn't very good. So I went to this hammerhead design shifter, solved that problem for me. It keeps it further away from my foot. Been super happy with it. Other things were just the bar position. I didn't like the stock bar bend at all. I was running a pretty straight bend where it didn't have much back sweep on the bike before this. So I put on some Pro Taper Evo steering damper low bend. That's the bar I'm running in the second forward position. So the bar mounts have 4 different positions that you can have the bars in. So I'm in the second from the most forward. So I have the bar clamped in the forward position, turned back, so it's about ½ an inch further forward than stock was. That gets me in a pretty good position that I like. That's made me pretty happy. So running different bars than stock, no big deal. I had them in my garage. And then again, talking levers, I didn't like the stock levers. So I went to some Torque One unbreakable levers. They twist out and they're a little bit shorter, and I like the way that they feel in my hands. So yeah, so this brake pedal on the other side, I like this Torque One brake pedal a lot better. Again, the stock pedal was way too close to my foot. It was about right here. So I kept hitting it on accident. $100, got this Torque One brake pedal. It's been great and I've been super happy with it. So guys, that's pretty much it for my 2-month review. I got about 15 hours again. I'll keep doing more reviews as time goes on, see if anything else changes. But overall, I've been super happy with this package from Yamaha. It's done everything I want really good. Talking about some more other things like the transmission. We've got that wide ratio where we've got a super low first gear all the way to a 5th gear that's way up in outer space. Hasn't been an issue for any of the riding I've done. I'm looking forward to topping it out in 5th gear. Some of the races come this season. But no, it hasn't been an issue for me at all. On the motocross track, I can pretty much run 3rd gear the whole track. It does exactly what I need it to. And yeah, it's been a great bike. Again, can't complain about any of the riding that I've done on it. It's been super awesome. So kickstand makes it super convenient. Don't have to bring a stand everywhere. You can set the bike down wherever you want. The bike's super awesome. Again, it's got the 2.2 gallon tank, so quite a bit bigger than the motocross version. Gives us plenty of fuel. I should be able to get about 50 miles, somewhere in there, on a tank. We haven't completely tested it. But anyway, somewhere about 50 mile range is about what I expect for my race pace or going fast in the desert. I think that's about what I've got to talk about. So the Yamaha is a great bike. I highly recommend it for anybody looking for a new do everything bike. Again, it's great for motocross. It's great for racing in the desert, riding single track. You can't go wrong with this bike. Plus, again, with the mapping, you can tune it to do whatever you want. So that's it for me today. Thank you guys for watching. Go get yourself a new Yamaha if you guys are looking for a new bike. It's definitely one that you should look out for. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed my review on this 2019 YZ450FX. Again, this is my first time doing any sort of bike review, anything like this. But if you guys liked what you're watching, want to see some more of my race footage, some more play riding, some more reviews in the future on different parts, then please make sure you subscribe so you can see some more content. Drop a comment with what you guys thought of this video. Make sure you like the video and we'll keep growing this channel. Thanks for watching.